Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Sunless C. So, if I'm not mistaken, I ended last episode in Frostfound, and I made my way over to Anthe in between episodes. And it turns out that all this fretting about supply management was a little bit pointless, because I guess I never actually checked the shop here. I thought I pretty much always do that first. One of the first things I do when I enter a new port is check the shop, but I guess not in this case. And yeah, it turns out that you can just buy things, including fuel and supplies. Yeah, a little bit more expensive, but at this point, not such a big deal. We have a decent amount of room, and the fuel is going to be absolutely fine, so I'm not worried about this at all. The one thing I'm wondering is whether I should leave some room for ivory. I believe... Right, we have the feathers and the ferret for the dress uniform. As soon as we get back to London or elsewhere where we can buy parabola linen. This one I've had made with some Scintillac. Didn't I also hold on to some caskets of sapphires? Wait, did I do that, or did I only think about doing that? No, I think I needed room, and thus I sold them because I was making just slightly more money off of them than buying new ones would cost me. I think something like that. I'm pretty sure I've only had the fine clothes made so far, and I wonder if maybe making one of each, even though there doesn't seem to be any kind of obvious way the game keeps track of which ones we even have. I mean, they're not like, a unique item. They're obviously just they just provide a boost, and it seems like you can just have each of these made an indefinite number of times, provided you have the materials. But just in case it makes a difference, and just to see the flavor text, I guess, that appears, I wouldn't mind having the other things made. Yeah. So we need 3 Stygian ivory, which we can buy at that next place, Scrimshander, I believe, that we've briefly visited. Yeah, since I'm not aware of any other sources for this stuff, I guess I'll probably reserve 3 whole spaces for those. So, I'm gonna leave... I don't know. Hard to tell. I'm gonna say that we're probably gonna use 1 unit of fuel, 1 barrel of fuel by the time we get there, although it's not far away. So I'm going to... Can I do math? I'm gonna get 2 more. 6 supplies. Should last for a decent while. And by the time we get there, we should have used up 1 barrel, and thus be able to pick up 3 ivory. Right, and then next time I get to... Yeah, it's too bad they don't sell caskets of sapphires here. Despite the idea being that this is a place of, crystals of all kinds. But I guess they only buy the actually valuable gems, but they don't sell them here. But next time I get to Port... whatchamacallit? Actually, what is it? Carnelian. That was what I was thinking of. I thought I confused that with the other place that I always confuse that with. That I've not actually been to, have I? Oh dear. No, wait, it's... no, that's Adam's Way. What's the other one? It's fine. It's fine. If I keep telling myself that, maybe it's eventually going to be fine. Anyway, okay. So, either way, once we get down there, we can definitely just buy sapphires for not too much money, so, yeah. It's just a shame that, I'm going to clog my limited inventory even more, but it's what it is. Anyway, story. Story? Oh, we're already at story. What am I doing? Anthe. Right. The only reason we're even back here is because we now have a pod story and we have something to do for Rosina. We can provide a dry lecture on the social stratification of Visage. Let's hope this is worth it. That's all for now. Oh, nearly recovered. Well. Curative tedium. You explain the masks, you establish the etiquette associated with each one. You rely upon the most technical of anthropological vocabulary. You allow yourself some reflection upon theories of equivalence as they pertain to performative duties in highly dissimulative societies. Rosina's nurse touches your elbow. First sound sleep she's had in weeks, she whispers, with a nod at the resting patient. It'll do wonders for her, especially if she can avoid dreaming. Okay, nearly recovered, huh? So, could we do that again? Technically speaking, I guess not. Oh, I guess yes, actually. Right, okay, it can't be more than 19, which we're just under. So if we had another port story, we could just perform the same treatment again, which is really convenient because it doesn't require any items. And then potentially she would be healed if she's nearly recovered already. Yeah, I guess all of these have the threshold of 19. All of these. The ones that do seem like they would be helpful. What about these down here? Okay, no. I guess once she's fully recovered, we can no longer attempt any kind of cure, any kind of treatment, including the ones that seem likely to worsen her condition. If for some reason we wanted to do that. Okay, I mean, it's a little bit boring to do the same thing over and over, I guess, but I mean, unless I can acquire a surplus of these drowny music, drowny music items. Okay, this is actually the same one, but yeah, anyway, unless I can acquire those sometime soon, it just doesn't seem very realistic. Well, unfortunately, of course, we'll also need a port story almost certainly to do something useful in Scrimshander, if it turns out that we actually do something at that place at all. Which maybe we should just find out. Oh, can I not just... Okay. Guess I have to first confirm that I leave her chambers. So I did resupply, yes. We could reduce terror some more, but I feel we're fine for now. Yeah, could have done this really risky thing. Wait, no, that's for fuel, never mind. Good on fuel. Okay, well, yeah, I guess that's... Rosina was the main reason, or the only reason we came back here, so... I mean, that went well. No reason to really save that, but... you know... Also no reason not to start a new save file for this episode. So let's go. Right. I guess... in this reality, I have not actually been to the Rift or Scrimshander, because I decided to reload, and yeah, it turned out that, again, I could have just resupplied here, no problem. This is an eruption of violent, the color of perilous understanding, terror plus 5, fragments plus 100. Okay, so these kinds of things just occasionally happen now? Oh, wait. That happened before I... Oh, did that happen during the short time where I just exited the town menu to look at the map? I guess so. Okay. Yeah, terror still at 32. But we gained 100 fragments. I guess that's fine. Huh. Interesting. Well, and I suppose I also saved that then. I'm okay with that. Right, yeah, Scrimshander is literally right here. Now, whether we will want to actually... Oh. Not actually using it as much fuel as I thought, but we're going to be eating soon. Oops. I'm also wasting more time than I need to. Fed the crew, there we go. So we have the room now. Right, so before anything else... Yeah, we can buy the ivory here. Carboy of Primordial Shrieks. Carboy. A carboy? No idea what that is. But we also don't need meteor salt right now, necessarily. I'm not sure if it's worth trading off whatever this is for 1 unit of meteor salt. Because I'm pretty sure there are other places to get that. Strange. Can buy lamentable relics. Very cheap, actually. Fuel's also not very expensive at all. Supplies, a little bit more so. But let's get the 3 ivory. Inventory's full now. I could just buy a couple more relics. I had like at least 10 of those at one point, and it seemed completely excessive, but I guess I've managed to use them for something. And they really aren't very inexpensive. There. Let's just go back up to 10 because they don't take up room. Who knows when they might come in handy. Alright. Now, as for the place itself, I guess it's worth saving here. Right. Accept the price and dock. Could I maybe learn what the price is exactly before I agree to anything? That would seem sensible to me. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. You will have to pay a price to depart from Scrimshander. I mean, it can't be anything... There might be different ways to pay whatever toll is required. Because obviously, the game wouldn't allow you to just softlock yourself, right? If you enter and save there. I suppose... I don't know. I suppose I don't know. Let's obviously just take a look. A cowed crew. The Guardian unlocks the ivory gates. Steel glints in her fingers as she carves an image of your ship into her massive bone key. Your brave crew decides to remain on the ship as you disembark for the tower's dry center. Your brave crew, huh? They bravely stayed behind. Welp, I have been to Scrimshander. In fact, I'm still there. Your Scrimshander Tides of Time quality is now 1. History of Heroes quality is 1. Okay, Drowny scholars believe that history is a never-ending cycle of trends and social forces, so wise historian learns to sail each era's turbulent tides. And the Kalonate, that's the place, thank you. The Kalonate hunters believe history is the result of heroic words and deeds. A wise historian learns from their actions and embraces their heroism. Okay, yeah. Right. Wait, what is this? Don't say history as if there's merely one of them. Right. Anyway, Scrimshander Center. You walk down a damp nave of bone. Intricately carved ivory walls depict improbable scenes from history. Which one? The walls are edged in tiny finger bones, each bearing a single name. Inhabitants wear ashen robes and carry steel-tipped bone quills, but you recognize most as Drownies or Kalonate expatriates. While most are quiet and ignore visitors, you hear heated arguments over interpretations of the sacred remains which will include whatever you leave behind when you depart. Okay. Do I leave one of my bones? Do I currently have crystallized bones, by the way? I think so, right? I think so. Well, we'll see how that works. Deliver a monastic drowny. Your silent passenger is transfixed by the murals, eyes wide and mouth agape. His unrepeatable exclamation is the first word you've heard from him. I completely forgot that I have this person with me. Huh. I mean, I know Scrimshander was mentioned at some point, but I did not actually know that I had a quest for this place. Did I mention that there's just an absurd number of things to keep track of in this game? And the journal does not really help as much as you might think. Anyway, so I guess we'll do this momentarily. Gather at the stage of history. Scholars file quietly into a pair of great ivory doors at the far end of the hallway. When they stumble out again, you can hear raised voices, arguments, and laughter. Oh, okay, that sounds pretty normal. Delve into the Ivory Archives. The Ivory Archives are a wealth of history, with ages of visitors' stories carved into the bone pillars that build the citadel. It's something between a library and an ossuary, but less inviting than either. Okay. You will want enough time in the archives to explore and return afterwards. At least 5 points is recommended, but more will allow deeper explorations. Do not overstay your welcome. It will not be pleasant. Excuse me? Time in the archives 1. Why do I... What? Why? What? What? Huh? At least 5 points is recommended. How do I gain more time? Well, I suppose maybe via this option, because there's just a port report or leaving. No one departs without leaving something of themselves behind. Be ready. I mean, I kind of want to just see what kind of price we're talking here. I can't imagine it's anything too horrible, but I wonder what it could be. Compile a port report first, I suppose. We obviously want to do this. Few visitors, fewer departures. The inhabitants of Scrimshander spend much of their time preying on the mysteries of the past. They spend almost as much time arguing about their interpretations. Salted residents often collect nearby salvage, studying the results and inscribing their interpretations on any skeletal remains. But those who leave too often are easily recognized. Those who leave too often are easily recognized by what they have left behind in their travels: memories, personalities, and bones. Otherwise, they rarely consider the present, certainly not with the same focus they give to the histories buried within their tower. Recent world events are met with polite silence unless it prompts an anecdote about similarities with antiquity. Apart from old grudges and new theories, very little changes here. Well, fair enough. Well, let's see. Departing. Were there quite this many guards when you came in? Was there always a pile of fresh bones by the entrance? Can I turn around? Okay, good. No one may depart Scrimshander without leaving something of themselves behind by which to be remembered. Tradition demands it, as do the muscular guards at the gate. Their sharpened bone quills are at the ready to collect your donation. Leave behind a story. Oh, wow. It says a story, but you want 5. I only have 4. That's annoying. Leave behind a past triumph. Vitality. Okay. I'd be kind of okay with that, I suppose. Leave behind your warmth, which is my highest stat right now. Leave something a little more tangible. One guard carries a butcher's cleaver. With a shudder, you recall how many finger bones decorate the tower. Missing finger no more than 4. Yikes. Yeah, I guess it would make sense to keep at least 1. Or, well, I suppose you can only be missing a total of 4 on both hands. You'd probably choose to not have them all chopped off the same hand, because that would be really awkward. I mean, you know, it would be awkward to say the least to have any number of fingers chopped off, but you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I mean, okay, sure. I guess either we're not going to be coming back to this place a whole lot more times, or I'll make sure to have more Z stories, I suppose. I mean, we're close. 1 more and we'll be able to visit once for free, basically. For this visit, I guess I'm gonna go with, I mean, probably iron, to be honest. Okay, well, it's, you know, it makes sense that sacrificing an attribute was gonna be one of the options. Although fingers option is, I mean, I suppose this allows you to visit 4 times, basically, without having to pay anything, right? I mean, yeah, technically a finger, but I feel like just with the growing sharp in Anthe, this is not gonna matter anywhere else, right? I mean, I just don't see there being checks in place in all kinds of places, just in case you are missing 1 or several fingers and things going differently according to that variable. That seems like something that only matters here. But, you know, for role-playing reasons, I feel like I probably should not do that. The guards watch you turn away impassively. Right, okay. Well, I mean, we can do this thing, which I completely forgot about, so sure. Silent passenger. A flood of words. Something within the monastic drowning has been unloosed at the sight of such sweeping histories. After such a long time silent, he's eager to share his own, smaller stories, and until he can earn his own bone quill, you're his captive audience. The coins he gives you are valuable, but not as much as the tales that tumble out of him. Could you give me a drowny hymn in counterpoint or elsewise? Guess not. Okay. Well, I was paid, apparently. Tides of Time are now 2. Oh, hey. Sea stories. I guess I will be getting out of this place free-ish. You know what? That makes sense. Since we were sent here on a quest, that they would at least pay me what's required to get back out. Yeah. That does make sense. Although I wonder, I could keep the Z stories. Either for a repeat visit or something else. And sacrifice 1 point of an attribute that I don't care that much about. I guess I can always decide once I actually leave. Well, let's obviously check this out. To the amphitheater. After the reverent silence of the outside, the boisterous noise of the amphitheater washes over you like the heavy sea beyond these walls. Actors strut in an amphitheater of bone, performing historical plays of dubious veracity. An audience watches from below, with each roaring drunk member applauding or jeering different details of the work. Above, an imperious figure wearing a crown of ivory judges each performance from a raised theater box. All are served by a single man, weaving between the crowd and wearing a perpetual smirk. Okay, talk with the glib historian. The mushroom wine he serves is stale. The plays he announces are questionable at best, but the impeccably bearded man with the olive skin laughs at every performance and has a smile for every patron. Okay. Historical revelations, no more than one. Watch a dramatic reenactment. The Drowny Chorus presents a sweeping historical opera with a 2-drink minimum. Okay. So the question is this actually the same variable? Wait, hold on. Can I leave? Yes. Now, time in the archives is a specific variable that we don't know how to increase yet, although I might be able to do that here. So, Tides of Time happens to be 2 because we delivered the Drowny here. I think if we hadn't done that, it would still be at 1, right? Watch a dramatic reenactment. Right. I mean, we could do this. Maybe this is just your usual pay some money for some terror reduction kind of option. Although I wonder if anything is normal here or in any of these underwater parts. They've been pretty unique so far. Somehow more so than the surface ports, but anyway, trade coffee for time in the archives. Ah, okay, well, I literally just had to read this. Even the most avid scholar knows not all historical tales are exciting. Well, okay. Trade wine for time in the archives. I see. The glib historian is always looking to restock his supply for thirsty audiences, and he has surprising influence with the archivists. Archivists. Agreed to search the ivory archives for a hero. The Kalanate's champions hope to regain their prestige by staging a heroic play. Assist their research in the ivory archives, and they'll give you a hero's reward. Okay. I could do this, I suppose. Tides of Time 1. So we don't need to meet any prerequisites to be able to do this. Okay, well, let's just talk with this person, I guess, and see what that does for us. Some cheer history as the work of brave and inspired heroes, especially them who wish they could be heroes themselves. The glib historian rolls his eyes theatrically. Others say it's all shaped by cyclical changes in scientific progress, economics and such, but nothing gets in the way of a good story quite like nuance. He spits out the word like a rotten grape. We let him argue up on the stage, and give an ivory crown to whoever's most convincing at the moment. He waves a hand at the temporary monarch in the raised seat above. But far as I'm concerned, he confides, filling a patron's mug with cheap wine, history is what you make of it. And I make a killing. Okay. You've learned enough about history to distrust any one person's interpretation. Did that actually do anything for me, though? I guess not. Historical revelations, no more than one. Okay. Watch a dramatic reenactment? I mean, sure. At the risk of reducing this variable, but maybe not? No. Okay. 10 terror. That's pretty good. A surprisingly brisk epoch. The city rises and falls in a matter of hours, with cast members playing a dozen roles each over the years. The dance number at the end is a crowd pleaser. Afterwards, the drowny king assures the crowd that the dancing was strictly allegorical. Okay. Yeah, I mean, as far as terror reduction per echo paid goes, this is pretty good. Right, and we could just keep repeating that. I mean, I'm really not sure why we're doing this. Agree to search the Ivory Archives for a hero. Sure, maybe this is just accepting the quest and then we'll have to actually search the archives. That's what it sounds like. The Calais champions hope to regain their prestige by staging a heroic play. Assist their research in the Ivory Archives, and they'll give you a hero's reward. No shortage of heroes. They assure you that any hero will do, as long as their deeds are suitably profound, ideally bloody, but the details are negotiable. You'll need to trade coffee or wine. Oh, right. So I will have to do that and then in return. I mean, that's quite doable. Right? Assuming I get 1 unit of time per each of those items, and the game recommends that I have 5 units of time. Right? Or was it no more than 5, or at least 5? You'll want enough time to explore and return afterwards. At least 5 is recommended, but more will allow deeper explorations. Oh, okay, so at least 5. Do not overstay your welcome. Right. So I'm assuming that, well, it says at least 5 is recommended. So it might be technically possible to find what I'm looking for in less than 5. Guaranteed with 5, so long as I play my cards right. Maybe just easier with more than 5. I mean, this is intriguing for sure. And we now have the, well, we have the stories, the Z stories, to buy our way out of this place again. Or we could always, you know, pay 1 point of an attribute. No, not a big deal. Okay, so make sure to bring basically, well, not as much coffee and wine as I can carry, but a decent amount. Alright, just double checking, actually. Leave, continue. Oh, provide transport for a scholar. Wait. A banished scholar stands near the exit, angrily brushing off ash of himself. At your approach, he brusquely demands passage to Hideaway. Of course he'll pay. Okay. Well, if this gets me out of here free, I don't see why not. I wasn't necessarily going to return to Hideaway anytime soon, but, you know. Hideaway was it the pirate place? No, never mind. I was thinking of something else. But Hideaway, I've been there, right? Or am I still trying to find that place? God, there are so many places. And it doesn't help that I've heard about all of them probably at this point, but not visited a couple. Okay, anyway, yes, I'll accept, obviously. In search of history's losers. He studied remains of 100 wars and read 1,000 bitter ends. Now he seeks the survivors so he can interview them in person. He assures you it's a purely academic interest. His life has been splendid personally. He merely wishes to see how they live with themselves. Okay, the Scholar of Lost Causes grumbles as he settles into his bunk ready for the trip to Hideaway. Thankfully, it looks like he doesn't actually... Okay, so that was not... That did not include a free exit of this place, from this place. That makes sense. I really... You know what? I think I'm going to hold on to these stories. And just leave behind 1 point of iron. That might be silly. Assuming it is 1 point, it better be only 1 point. Brick by brick, the tower is built. The guards take you to an upper chamber. The floor is bare except for burning incense and a pile of grey bricks in the corner. Each one bears a name and a tale, but you can't pause to read them all. One by one, you carry the bricks across the room, stacking them neatly into a wall. The work is slow and the air is thick with bittersweet incense. Each brick is heavier than the last, and the work becomes a blur. Sweat beads and trickles down your back, running down your face, soaking through your clothes, drowning you in salt. You awake from the dream with a start. You are clean and dry, lying in an unfamiliar room. You pull yourself out of bed with great effort and leave the grey bricked house behind. Okay, 1 iron. That's acceptable. Obviously, I wouldn't want to do that too many more times. Okay, now, journal. I guess if I had been to Hideaway, it would be listed here probably. Oh, wait. I have been to Hideaway? The Impolite Investigator. Yeah, I think when I was looking over this list of things last time, I might have seen the name, and that's maybe why it was so fresh in my memory. The Impolite Investigator, he has asked you to take him to Hideaway. Okay, so we are on a quest to take someone there already. Now we have 2 people, I guess. He gave the Impolite Investigator all he needed for an answer. Yes, I remember this person. Then I guess we still have him on board, but honestly I don't even remember where we picked him up. Well, now we have a second person. That would be listed under Scrimshander. History of Heroes 1, yes, okay. Yep, there he is. Okay. Right, so we have not actually been there. I was... For some reason, when I read Hideaway, I thought of the place that's actually called Rack. But yeah, obviously. Completely different place. Alright. Well, that was interesting. So, we want to return with coffee and or wine. At least 5 total. Well, probably exactly 5 because, you know, knowing myself, I'm probably just going to, you know, make do with the minimum or the recommended amount and, you know, make sure that I succeed using any means necessary. If you know what I mean. Anyway, yeah, I think this was successful enough. We finished a quest, kind of, even though it was probably mostly just to tell me about this place and you know, get me here. And also, you know, provide a free means to go back out. But we picked up a follow-up quest, which might be more meaningful. We'll see. Manual save. Don't see why not. And from here, where do we go exactly? Don't know that there's a reason to go back to this place. So I guess we're just heading over to Nuncio for only like the 2nd time, I think. Then we're already at Estival, almost at Estival, which I was planning to stop by for the free supplies, but honestly, we don't even have room for them, so I might skip that and just head straight down to Empire of Hands instead. Maybe via the vortex. Actually, have I ever checked what's underneath any of the vortices? There aren't that many, I guess, but there are a couple. Actually, well, there's one. I suppose there isn't an icon for them on the map. They're only there in name. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure if I've ever checked the seafloor underneath a vortex, so that's definitely something we can do. Anyway, for now, we'll head over towards Nuncio. Might as well go underwater, just in case we come across anything interesting. We'll unlock a little bit more of the map, which is always a nice bonus. Is that a rock? I can It's definitely one of those. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is one. But even, yeah, that was definitely a little bit hard to tell. Sonar has picked up an underwater settlement. It's some distance to the south. Really? Huh. Well, that's a new development. Some distance, huh? Too bad that doesn't give you... Well, you know what? In that case... Uh-huh, okay, there's an achievement. The Dragon of the Z. Well, whatever it is here. I hope I chose the right side for the dock. We have a port story, but I guess we'll potentially use it here. I guess we did not actually need one at the other place. Ah, Nook. Have we heard about Nook? Antonine Abyss, there's an Abyss as well. Well, this looks like a pleasant place to dock. In fact, I mean, it does not at all. This is not a place where people live, surely. Unless the thing is dead. I mean, even then, why would you possibly want to be anywhere near this place? A gap in this colossal Z monster's throat has been forced open with thick hard metal beams. Okay. Yeah, I guess there is some construction visible, huh? Well, okay. Sure. I guess there are... Well, I don't know if there are less likely places to live in the Undersea. This is definitely up there. The edge of Nook. A gap in this colossal Z monster's throat has been forced open with thick hard metal beams. They strain under the pressure, but hold. As you pass through, your submarine lights pass over a message carved in a floating piece of some unfortunate's hull. Beyond is Nook. Beyond is freedom. Beyond is... The rest is scratched out. Enter Nook. Water presses against the airlock door. The breathing and slithering of the beast gives it the rhythm of a drumbeat. The effects of prolonged stays in Nook can be reduced in Ago, where memories are sacrificed. Oh boy. The effects of prolonged stays can be reduced by sacrificing memories, basically. So, okay. Jeez. What the heck is this gonna be about? I mean, I suppose I'll save here? Sure. What could possibly go wrong? Let's enter. Trespasser and freedom. You don your heavy diving suit and give the order to cycle the airlock. Water rushes in and you begin the slow swim down into the port. It soon becomes obvious that you are overdressed for the occasion. The people of Nook swim and breathe in the cloudy maw water with no apparent discomfort. Most are naked, with just a few clad in rotten rags that stream from their skin with no concern for modesty. None will communicate with you if they even can. Those who acknowledge your presence just laugh silently at your bulky suit and unnecessary air hose. You need a different approach. Huh. Okay, a taste of freedom. It can leave a bitter aftertaste. You don't say. Well, okay, and we go from overdressed to just naked. I mean, we could choose to be at least a little bit modest and, you know. But I guess when in Rome and all that. You undress every button, every stitch. The door opens. Ice-cold water rushes upwards. Instinct holds your mouth shut. 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Your lungs burn, holding in that last gulp of air. Your legs thrash. You can't hold it in. It escapes. You're choking on water. It forces its way into your lungs. The taste of burning salt suffocating every attempt to gasp, scream, or... Then, through the exhaustion and panic, you realize you're breathing. It's hard work. Your lungs fight against the weight. But it's enough. You can tolerate it, at least for now. Okay, so that's the consequence of a prolonged stay? That it's just physically exhausting? Well, I guess it's not just physically exhausting. Anyway, the beast quivers with distaste at your trespass. Freedom is never stagnant. The waves are flecked with light. Ah, okay. Interesting. Wait. I gained a port story here. You know what? In that case, let me just be efficient. If that's how it is, I think we should be able to talk to our navigator, which we needed a port story for, and then do this thing, which is going to give us a new one, and then we could head back up to Anthe to fully cure Rosina, perhaps. You know, efficiency. Anyway, let's see if it works the way I expect it to. The ship's surgeon finds you. Yes, so we have this now, right? He's awake, my lady, and he's asking for you. The navigator has slept fitfully since he collapsed on the frost-bound ice. Now, new purpose. His sigil has grown. It reaches down to his cheek now. Too bad the portrait doesn't reflect that, but I mean, I get it. The skin it marks is pitted and gray. Captain, the ice told me. The sigil's reflection was its opposite, or inverse. It doesn't matter. We must go north. North and north and north, to the avid horizon, to Void's approach. Really, again? I mean, it's still kind of nearby, but... he struggles to rise. Where are my charts? My compass? My sounding line? Take a sigil with the navigator to avid horizon to recover his memories. Okay. Are we gonna need something more there? You could tell me in advance, perhaps, but... well, we'll see. Okay, well, we did that now. I suppose. Also... I could end the episode here, time-wise. Or I could check out Nook some more. I'm a little bit worried about maybe overstaying my welcome here and... you know, having to face some sort of consequences, but... well, surely the game is going to warn me somehow. Right, okay, so we have a new port story. I don't know why, instead of needing one, we actually get one here for free. It's so random. It's usually going to be wasted too, right? I mean, unless I happen to literally just use one, like I did. But you wouldn't know that ahead of time. Weird. Anyway. Taste of Freedom is now 3. And tolerance for Nook water quality is 3. Okay. The more of it you breathe, the less you remember air. Oh, okay. That seems potentially bad. Right. The ruptured throat. A torn, painted-back cavity in the flesh wall offers access to the city's monstrous host. Razor-sharp teeth the size of buildings jut from fatty, garnet-red flesh. Many teeth have been quarried out into homes, barricaded by scraps of wood from shipwrecks. And everything's completely underwater? Okay. Swim upwards to the Great Maw. Upwards? What? Wait. Tolerance for Nook water 1. I have 3. Why do I start with 3? I guess maybe my tolerance goes down? This increases as you do more in Nook, but the more you do in Nook, the more Nook will change you. I don't know that I want that. Attempt to mingle with the Nook folk. They may be friendlier now that you are fashionably undressed. Compile a port report. I mean, I should at the very least do this. Take from the weak. There's only one law here. Survival of the fittest. High-risk challenge. Return to the submarine. Okay. Better not leave the crew waiting too long. Yeah, they might decide to just leave this place and their very obviously crazy captain swim downward to the serrated abyss. Huh. Okay, well, port report, obviously. Notes on Nook. A vile place, festering, acidic. No laws but those of tooth and claw written in scars. Civilization? Impossible. Making tea would be a logistical impossibility. Yeah, that alone makes this place completely unsuitable for living. Yet the inhabitants seem content. Many have come here from London, the Khanate, the Presbyterate, abandoning cultured life for this tenuous existence. They grin, their mouths full of stolen flesh, or float naked and carefree. Many have nothing, and nothing to lose. A group of swimmers dart past, hunting gleefully. One squeezes your shoulder, companionably. You've never met her before. Okay. Well, we have the port report. Such as it is, a great mouth on the seafloor, home to a lawless aquatic culture. Okay. Tolerance for nook water has gone down, I see. But we're gaining more taste of freedom. Well, between all of the options here, I don't know why I would swim upwards. I mean, we're somewhere down the row of teeth, right? So swimming upwards would just be leaving the place. To the Great Maw. I mean, swim up to the open area and look down at it, I guess, maybe? Swim downwards to the serrated abyss. I mean, this seems like the worst idea, but also the most interesting, so let's go with that. Down here the water is cloudy, its greens streaked by dissipating patches of coppery red. Only a few teeth still protrude from the walls. Instead, razor-sharp hairs line them, rippling gently in the current. Okay. Trade solace fruit for phosphorescent nodules. They'll be a rare treat for the Nook folk. Well, they're a rare treat everywhere, really. This grows in the Wispways near the Mangrove College. Okay. Okay. Right, tolerance is still 2. Accept a scandalous invitation. 2 Nook folk, languorously entangled, swim past. Their fingers twine in the water, their arms stray over bare skin. One smiles at you, beckons. Foul gas bubbles up from the beast's stomach. I have this, apparently. Yummy. The maw opens wide, awaiting prey. Swim downwards to the bilious cleft? Yeah, I don't know about the scandalous invitation, to be honest. I mean, it is a port story. I guess we could do this. But this is too intriguing. Few Nook folk swim this deep, for good reason, where the water is foggier than a London pea souper. Foul gas bubbles up from the beast's gut, acidic enough to sting your eyes. Search for phosphorescent nodules. Oh, okay, so we could trade for them above, or we could just get them ourselves. The Nook folk use them for light and guard them closely. When they do drop them, though, the nodules sink down here, glowing between the teeth. Intimidate phosphorescent nodules from nervous Nook folk. What? Intimidate? A ragged band squabble over glowing nodules. Oh, I see. They stop when you approach, recognizing you. They know to be afraid. Do they? Why? Trade memories of Nook for phosphorescent nodules. Okay, so if I had these memories of Nook, I guess that would mean that I have a certain reputation. Down the writhing gullet. Why can't I keep going deeper? Why would I want this? This beast is at least centuries old. Its stomach passages are a labyrinth. Who knows what might be lodged in there? I mean, I've gone this deep. You descend deeper. How far down? How far will you go in search of treasure? Pretty far, as it turns out. You swim through a foul labyrinth of passages and intestines. Your eyes sting with every stroke. The water grows ever more bilious. Uh-oh. Wait. Oh, I don't have any of those nodules, of course. Abandoning a dive. Wounds no more than 2. I have 2. Wait. I mean, yeah, as soon as it said that my eyes sting with every stroke, I was wondering if this would eventually wound me, but I already have 2 wounds. This has gone deep enough. I mean, yeah, sure, but also I literally can't do anything here without phosphorescent nodules. I need 1, apparently. But there might be more steps in this sequence. I mean, this is extremely fascinating, needless to say. But unfortunately I can't do anything here. So is this going to cost me anything? No, not immediately. Search for nodules. I feel like this can't be free, right? There has to be some sort of consequence. I'm not really planning to explore this this place though necessarily. I feel like I'm kind of unprepared for that. What? Wait, no, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, swim up. Okay, makes sense, of course. Usually the, go back option is at the bottom, but... Okay. I was totally expecting our tolerance to go down again. But I guess that only happens with, like, meaningful choices like this, presumably. You know what? Sure, let's do something here before we leave. Never to return, potentially. Accept a scandalous invitation. Sure, that sounds fun. Okay, and now that gives me some amount of infamy, I guess. Okay, what happens in Nook stays in Hook. In Nook, hopefully. The two lovers lead you to a tooth the size of a London manor. It is riddled with caverns, gently lit by lambent nodules. In each cavern, lovers seethe. You find a chamber of your own. Hands explore, lips touch, acquaintances deepen. Okay. Oh, hey, that gave me some free nodules. I mean, kind of free. It cost me my port story, of course. Lost 5 terror. Okay. Gained more, taste of freedom. If only I knew what kind of number here is actually dangerous. But, I mean, the plan is to leave now. To leave for now. Anyway. Huh. Interestingly, our... Oh, wait, what? Return to Nook. Check diving suit. What? What was I gonna say? The plan was to leave now anyway. And we have not been to this Eagle place where we are supposed to do something. Find that lady's brother's memories, I think. The lady we met at Mount Palmerston. So that's for that reason alone I want to go there, and we'll see, I guess, what it costs to have this taste of freedom reduced. I'm guessing that's what you do, to reduce this back down so you can explore this place more without, I don't know, running the risk of this going too high, and then, I don't know, maybe eventually you'll just be unable to leave because, yeah, I don't know. You like it here so much. So why is this here? Return to Nook. You have the measure of the place now, and you have learned that the liberal ingestion of wine before a visit increases your tolerance for Nook water. Oh, interesting. Okay, so another use for mushroom wine. No more than 14. Okay, so we can at least go that high, I suppose, and still be okay. I see. And I guess doing this, picking this option, is going to give us, well, at least one more unit of tolerance for Nook water, which will then allow us to do more before we have to leave. But again, it's interesting that it only went down that one time. I thought it was going to be a timer that basically resets, you know, every time you revisit the place. But maybe not. Maybe it's going to stay reduced. And only keep reducing every certain number of interactions. I don't know. It's all speculation, of course. All in excellent condition. Lady Black can wrap her fingers around another captain's throat. For now, though, it doesn't matter. Nook and its foul but breathable waters await. Okay. Check the diving suit. Wait, so can I not return, though? Oh, I have to... Wait. I have to do this if I want to return to Nook. Why can't I even do this then? Okay, well, I suppose I made my choice then? Can we do any shopping? Surprisingly, yes. Okay, and we can buy Stygian ivory here. I guess it makes sense. Ivory gathered from the teeth of this monstrosity. Supplies would have been cheaper here, if only I had known beforehand. That being said, we have used up a little bit, so I guess we can do some shopping. Sure. I mean, we're going to burn through the supplies before the fuel at this point. So I guess we're going to do that. Okay, well, this place. Is there... What was this about? Sunlight-filled mirror catch box. A sunlight-filled box for 7 caskets of sapphires? Really? Oh, wait. Sell it, not buy it. Idiot. Okay. Lots of spider silk could also be sold here. Why would they be interested in that? They don't need clothes, apparently. Whatever, okay. Anyway. Yeah. So we have the ivory for when we need it. We just need some linen to go with it. No, wait. Sapphires. And linen? Yeah, I think both. And some more linen for the other dress. The other, you know, whatever it is. Right. So we can do both of those things once we go back to London. That's good. This place, I mean, we have those phosphorescent nodules now. At least a couple of them. So I guess if I ever return here with some mushroom wine, I'll be able to explore some more and, I don't know, maybe even find some treasure deep in the guts of this monster, if I want that. Yeah, so definitely try to keep that in mind. I might take a note about it, actually, that I need some combination of wine and coffee for Scrimshander, and then at least a cask of wine for Nook. Not that I have any particular reason to explore here, just, you know, assuming that there's probably something worthwhile to find at the bottom of all this. Right, anyway, for now, let me just quickly double check. Right, so we are here now, unexpectedly. I was planning to go over to Nuncio. I think if I just sail back up to Anthe from here, we should probably have a port story by the time we arrive, so we could do well, the same thing we did before with Rosina, and see if that actually fully cures her, and if so, what that does. If there's maybe a follow-up quest to bring her somewhere. Once, I mean, I guess she's only staying there to cure her condition, so she might want to go somewhere else once that's done. And from there, I guess I'd still continue on to Nuncio, and then, yeah, probably still skip Estival down to Empire of Hands, finally to do at least 2 things there, and so on and so forth. Okay, yeah, well, anyway, inventory is getting fuller and fuller, but we're kind of managing in terms of, you know, managing resources, so that's good at least. And of course we're finding more interesting places. Alright, there is also the Abyss down here, and another underwater place. No, but yeah, I mean, I guess I'm gonna... Right, I saw this on the map earlier, and I was thinking, you know, since we have Nook here where we can save, I guess we're gonna do a little bit of an Abyss exploration here, check out what this one is all about. You know, I'll take a note about it, if it's part of the sequence, and all that, but yeah, since we almost certainly won't need to do anything here right now, I guess I'll just, you know, explore, reload, and then we'll head back up to Anthe to help Rosina, yes, then Nuncio, and so on and so forth. Okay, anyway, for the time being, I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye-bye.